Good. How are you?
Good.
Welcome back
To another episode.
I just thought
Keep going.
I just thought like the next episode.
Oh man, I never know what to say.
It's always weird, especially when we get to like the third one of a day.
I know.
Like it's just like, what do we say now?
Beginning and ending.
Yeah.
So if they ever sound awkward, it feels awkward for us too.
It's weird. We haven't figured it out.
No.
Maybe that'll be season 4 us.
It's genuine, right? It's authentic.
It's real. It's
I
real.
don't know how else to be. You know who else is real?
Sandra Oh?
Yes.
Was that a segue?
Yes, it was.
Oh my gosh, I love her
Was it
so
obvious?
much.
You know what I'm never gonna forget?
What?
Her at the Oscars being so excited.
Yeah.
I think it was when Parasite won.
Was it?
I can't remember. I just remember a moment of her like getting up and being like, yes,
I think it was.
yes.
I think it was then. I was in the room, so like I don't.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was sitting.
Were you in the room?
Yes, I
Yeah.
was sitting next to Billie Eilish's brother.
Oh my gosh.
That sounds like a name drop. It's not. Like we were not there
Phineas.
because we were like connected. We were
Yeah.
there for other reasons.
Yeah, we were working, but
Yes.
like, I mean, like everyone is that night.
Yes.
Everyone thinks it's like a big party, and it's really just work.
And who's the DJ that was there a lot?
Is there a lot?
Oh, maybe was there that year.
That year, I think, because that was like the year that Kelly Tran introduced something, right? And
Maybe.
but it was oh my god, I know his name, and he like did like a whole movie, which was why he was, I think, part of why he was there. But it's totally, and it's like obviously, it's an obvious one too, because
Yes.
he's from the Roots, and
Well, whoever he is and his name is, I don't know
I
DJs.
know who it is, and it has flown out of my head.
But I was sitting on the other side of me was his like girlfriend or wife.
Oh, cute.
So
At some point, I sat next to Utkarsh Ambakar's wife, and she was pregnant, and it was so cute, and I love them so much, and I love him. He's on Ghosts now, and like he was in Pitch Perfect. He was on the Mindy Kaling show, which the Mindy Project.
yes,
He played her brother, and like he's just like so everything you want a person to be, I think. And like his wife was so beautiful and like so nice, and I was sitting there, I was like I'm just saving it for him. She was like, okay. And I was like, because it was, I think, like their like their first like big award show or something, and maybe not, but but she just like looked at me when I sat down, and I was like, don't worry, I'll be here until he gets back. I'll leave when he comes back. She was like, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, all this to say that Sandra Oh is amazing.
I love her so much.
And she did the voice of Ming Lee, who from Turning Red, which we talked about.
It's like Sandra
last
O'Day.
week.
Yeah.
It is Sandra O'Day.
For us.
O'Day, not O'Day.
Yeah. Not O'Day. Yeah.
But she was the best part of Grey's Anatomy, and I'm still upset that she's gone.
I stopped watching that show after like season 2, but yeah.
I'm too invested at this point because I've made
it. Well, it's been like 20 years. You've been watching that show longer than your child has been alive.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That's a perspective I hadn't considered.
It's like sometimes I'll say to my sister, like, I've known your mom longer than you.
Rude, but true.
But true.
Yeah, no, I adore her. But
yeah.
anyways, and she's
Somebody sedate me.
She's so good.
She's so good. I mean, I think that's the thing too, is like she's so good.
In so many different roles.
Yeah.
Like the serious. I haven't watched Killing Eve. I started to watch it and I never picked it up.
2 seasons. I need to go back.
I think I've got like halfway through season 1.
Yeah. I watched like the first 2 because they were streaming by the time I got around to watching, and then I had to wait for season 3, and then I just forgot. So now I have to go back.
Yeah. I love her and everything she's in.
She's so great. And Jodie Comer's so great.
Yeah. Who's it?
She's she's the villain in that, but she was in Free Guy. She was. Did you see Free Guy?
I did, but I don't remember.
She was like the other coder.
I mean, I have a semblance of the plot, but I don't have a picture.
Yeah, she was like the female like heroine, whatever, who he was like chasing around and in love with.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, but she's fantastic.
Yeah.
She is like just in a bunch of stuff too. Other stuff besides those 2 things that I said, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyways, yeah. So we're gonna talk about Sandra Oh again.
Yes.
Briefly, a little.
She's probably like my favorite part of this movie, even though she's just absolutely ridiculous.
Right.
So if you didn't read the title of the episode
that you've plopped yourself into,
that you're watching or listening to,
we're gonna talk about The Princess Diaries.
We are. Oh, I need the notes.
You do. I have them ready. Here you go.
Thank you. Okay. So, Princess Diaries was released in 2001 by Walt Disney Pictures and Brown House Productions. It was distributed by Buena Vista Pictures. It was directed by Gary Marshall, which I will have some things to say about Gary Marshall. Like, good things. I mean, not anything about Gary Marshall, but just like about the fact that he directed it.
Yeah.
It was written by Gina Wenkos, based on the book by Meg Cabot. It was produced by Whitney Houston, Deborah Martin Chase, and Maria Iskovich? Something. It stars Anne Hathaway, Julie Andrews, Hector Elizondo, who I love, Heather Matarazzo, Mandy Moore, Carolyn Goodall, and Robert Schwartzman, and also Sandra Oh.
They didn't include it in the list, but I added it.
So rude. Princess Diaries follows Mia Thermopolis, a shy San Francisco teen. Following the death of her estranged father, Mia is visited by her grandmother, who reveals she is a princess. Mia is a princess. The grandmother's the queen. She's a princess and sole heir to the European kingdom of Genovia, or Genovia, depending upon what point in the script you are at. Mia agrees to receive princess lessons from her grandmother, Queen Clarice. Sorry, I just thought, hello, Clarice. While she struggles to decide if she will renounce her title or not. After experiencing a glamorous makeover, she fumbles through her first date dinner and lives through the frenzy of the paparazzi. Mia prepares to make her choice at the annual Independence Day ball. You can watch this on Disney Plus. I think I stumbled over something, or
I wrote it kind of weird. I write these, by the way.
It's always an adventure when I read them. Also, it's like it's phone font, so it's tiny, and I'm just like an old person now. I think I have to get reading glasses at some point. Like, it's a whole thing. I wear contacts, but I'm gonna need reading glasses. This is so weird.
Do you need bifocals? My husband had to get bifocals.
Absolutely not. I refuse.
He paid extra for the ones that
just fade. Yeah, so you can't see the line.
But I guess there's the side of the glasses is like don't work anymore, or like they don't. Anyway, so it's like fuzzy on the. It was so disorienting.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was gonna make it for like a little while.
Yeah.
It was so disorienting.
I really want to get LASIK, I think, but I'm so scared to have my eyeball cut open.
Yeah. It is.
Like the top of a grape. Sorry.
You can't see what I'm doing when you're listening, so I apologize. I'm just making strange.
She just was like waving her hand over her eye, and she went. Oh man. Anyway, whenever they develop the technology to not have to like cut into your eye while your eye is open and you're watching them, maybe that's when I'll get it done, because it's so scary.
Yeah.
Well, also it's like one of those things, like if you mess it up, like that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. But one of the people I work with, she also wears like glasses and contacts and stuff, and she was like, sometimes I just ask my friends, like, what's it like to see for free? Because like we have to pay to see.
It's nice.
It's insane. I have to pay money to see.
Yeah. You take it for granted.
Yeah. We could talk about our health.
I definitely take it for granted.
Dive into our healthcare system all over again, but like it's really.
I can't.
I can't see for free.
Yeah.
Like a basic human function, I have to pay
to see
hundreds of dollars a year.
What did they do back in the day? You just left for dead.
I was thinking about that. I was watching some like olden time something. Maybe it was on the plane or something, and it was like, and I was just like, I bet they thought all those people were like blind or possessed or something, who had just like bad eyesight. Like, what do they do? Is it a trait that like we have like genetically modified ourselves into, or like were people back, I mean obviously people back in the day couldn't see, because like Benjamin Franklin I think wore glasses, like so like even further back than that, like people were wearing glasses and stuff, but like what about like the beginning? You know,
I'm curious how far back. I don't know when glasses like started, but like obviously they did have, as even in like olden days, you know, they had glasses of us, not to the
they had like the
sophistication that we have now,
old optometrist,
right?
But like
a little what is it, the little thing that you put in your pocket and pull out?
A monocle.
Thank you.
In Germany I had this optometrist who spoke English, but he'd be like, so you know when you go to the optometrist, they're like, oh, what's better, 1 or 2? 1 or 2, and you say 1 and then switch to the other one. Okay, now 1 or 2, 1 or 2, and you pick it. But my German optometrist, he'd be like, camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 2. Anyway.
Oh, man.
That veered off into left field.
I know.
It's the third one.
It relates. She wore glasses.
Yes.
And they talked her into getting contacts.
I love when he was like, have you ever worn contacts? And she was like, oh, no, I just don't really like them. And he breaks the glasses. He's like, well, now you have to.
You broke my glasses. Well, you broke my brush.
Oh, Kat's dad.
Aww.
All of our stuff this season has like a lot of like interconnected.
It really does.
Yeah.
We talked about Allison Janney in 10 Things, and she's going to be coming up in another episode.
Mm-hmm.
Sandra Oh has now been in 2.
Yeah.
The music in 10 Things showed up in Moxie.
Mm-hmm. And was related to the Spice Girls.
Yes.
And then now and Paulo, like I said.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said when we talked about 10 Things.
Yes. It
all flows.
It does.
Yeah.
It's all it was planned.
That's a very
that way.
weird trivia brain.
I know.
Anyway, Princess Diaries.
I'm going to create like a map of the season.
Yeah.
And all the connections, like one of those like crazy
you should do that.
crime maps that has yarn.
Like with the yarn. And you could just be like Charlie Day, like, ah!
Oh my goodness.
Anyway.
Yeah, so Princess Diaries.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Princess Diaries?
Well, wait, when did we watch it?
Oh, when did we first watch it? Oh, I don't know. I can't tell that story because I don't remember. I'm sure I watched it maybe in the theaters, maybe on VHS from Blockbuster.
It came out in 2001, so I was already a senior in college or had graduated college. Mm-hmm. So I don't know that I went and saw it in
I
the
was
theater.
Early in high school, probably being like too cool to see a movie like Princess Diaries.
Well, you were too cool for Britney Spears, so yeah,
it's
probably.
True. It tracks.
But yeah, so I don't know when. I don't think I went and saw it in the theater. If I was in college, I might have gone to see it in the theater because like in college, like I still went to the movies a lot more and had a lot of like girlfriends to go to the movies with because I was in a sorority. But I don't know that I saw it in the like I don't remember going and seeing it in the theater.
I definitely did not.
And honestly, until the pandemic, I think I had only seen it once.
Really?
And I hadn't ever seen the sequel. And so, like, and I think it was only, like, it wasn't even during lockdown. It was, like, last year that I was like, oh, I'll watch Princess Diaries. And Princess Diaries, too. Because I don't, like, I was like, I haven't ever seen the second one, but I was like, I need to go back and rewatch the first one because I don't really remember. And so I just, like, did it in, like, one day. I watched, like, the first one and the second one. And I was like, yeah, definitely haven't seen the second one. Yeah. And then, but then for the episode, I just watched it last night.
Yeah. When did I watch? I don't know. I watched it.
You watched it a little while ago.
Some time ago.
Yeah.
A week ago. It was just a couple days ago.
But like a little while ago. I'm not not yesterday.
I've watched it several times.
Yeah.
But then I watched it for this episode just a couple days ago.
Yeah. So I've only seen it 3 times.
Yeah. I've probably seen it several. It's one of those that I'll just like put on.
Mm-hmm. I don't think about it. Yeah.
I used to put a lot of random movies like this on when I worked from home because if I needed a break from working in the office and my home office, and then I would come out in the living room and I'd work in there, but I'd like to have something on
in the background,
but something that I had already seen because then it wouldn't distract me as much.
Yeah.
It would just be on. And Princess Diaries is one that I definitely put on at some point for that.
I used to do homework with the TV on, and now I'm one of those like I need like silence to work. I'm one of those weirdo silent people. I'm so glad I don't sit in a cube anymore.
Yeah.
I just can't.
It's very distracting.
Other people are really distracting. Right? Like, yeah. I used to sit next to someone who would like try to talk to me all day long.
And say weird things?
And just like, no, just like have conversations.
You're thinking of a different person than I am then.
Yeah. I think so. And she would just want to like talk all day. And I was like, I have worked and it was we were different levels. Like she was an assistant and I was head of prospect research at the time, and so like I had like heavy work to do, like really detailed stuff, like not only just like research work that was like really detailed, like required a lot of attention to detail, but also then like portfolio stuff where I was like doing like metrics and data and like whatever, and I was just like I cannot have conversations all day. And so I finally started just like wearing my earbuds, but like I wasn't even listening to anything. I was just like, I need you to not talk to me. But she would still try. But
oh man, no.
I mean, bless. She was very sweet, but
yeah,
just like I can't.
I know. Sometimes
I know that just because you're not working doesn't mean I don't have work to do.
Set this boundary of like I need to focus, and I can't stop myself from talking when you stop talking to me.
Because I'm too like I want to talk to people. Like, that's what I got in trouble for at school, was just, like, too much talking.
Yes. Once you get me going, like, I get pretty incessant.
Yeah.
So, like, don't.
Don't start with me.
Just don't.
Don't start none, won't be none.
But, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
I forgot how we got on this topic. Oh, when we had seen it last.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, how did we get on this
I don't know.
How do we ever?
I know. But yeah, so I can't work with stuff on.
Yeah.
I tried. I was like, I had some, like, during the pandemic, I would try. And I was just like, nope, can't do it.
I have a hard time working in complete silence. But I have to pick and choose. So, like, if I listen to music, it can't be any music with lyrics.
No.
Because then I'll start to sing it in my head.
That is the one exception.
Yeah.
I can do, like, instrumental.
I like instrumental music when I work. But, again, like, them talking, like, on a show, like, if I've seen it before,
no, I can't anymore. I used to be able to tune it out. Now I can't.
Yeah.
But I do, like,
ambient noise. Just don't talk directly at me.
Yeah. I think that's the other reason I don't really do Spotify anymore. Like, I never paid for it because, and I just don't listen to it. Because, like, I liked, like, there's a classical thing on there, like gentle classical or whatever that I liked, but every 4 songs an ad comes on and I'm just like, oh, I'm totally derailed from my work now. Yep. So then I just got in the habit of, like, not having anything, and now here we are. I just need quiet.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd be that person, though.
Really?
Because, like, all through high school I watched TV and did my homework and got pretty good grades.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember how I was. I didn't really have, like, a TV in my room or anything. I guess I did for part of it.
I did actually in high school, weirdly.
Because I did not do my homework out in the living room. I did it in my room.
Yeah. Well, my mom used to not ever watch TV. Because, like, also we grew up, I grew up overseas where there weren't very many American stations. And so, like, you had one choice of TV to watch. And my mom wasn't a big TV watcher then. She's more now, but she's still not a huge, like, TV person. But, so when we lived in the house that I went to, like, elementary, and this is, like, a super long tangent, but when we lived in the house that I lived in for, like, junior high and elementary school, the TV, it was 2 stories, and, like, I basically had, like, the whole top floor, because, like, it was, like, there was, like, a den living space up there, and a bathroom, and then my bedroom, and then my mom, her room and her bathroom were downstairs. And really the only reason I got, like, the huge bedroom and the huge bathroom, because there wasn't a shower in that bathroom, and my mom was, like, a shower, like, she just wanted to take a shower, and so that was the only reason I ended up with that. Also, like, it was, like, a good, like, play area for me, because we moved in there when I was, like, 7.
Oh, yeah.
So it was just, like, there was, like, a play area, and, like, that's where the TV was. So, like, I always had control of the TV. And then when I was in high school, the place that she had moved into, it was just a 2-bedroom, but she didn't want the TV in the living room, so it was in my room.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, longest story of ever.
Princess Diaries.
It's who we are. Yes, Princess Diaries.
So we watched it at some point in our lives, and here we are.
Yeah, here we are. I like it. I mean, it's not one of those movies that I'm like, oh, I love this movie. And I don't even think to, like, turn it on or whatever, but it's cute.
I think it's cute. I liked it. I mean, I love Julie Andrews.
Yeah.
You know, she's classic. I'm curious about the book. Because, like, I've never read it. I probably never will, so this will just remain a mystery. Yeah. Like, what are the books like?
Yeah. It's so funny, as I saw, like, when I was watching it last night and the credits came up and it was, like, directed by Gary Marshall, and I was like, oh. And then about halfway through, I was like, oh yeah, this was directed by Gary Marshall. And I was like, I wonder if he did Pretty Woman, because there were so many Pretty Woman, like, Easter eggs, like Hector Elizondo being in it, and then that scene where she, like, lights something, or it's the dinner where she, like, lights something on fire, and she also, like, taps the glass so hard that it breaks, and the guy comes from behind and he's like, happens all the time, ma'am. And that's from, like, it's the same guy, I think, too, like, the same actor.
Oh, is it?
I think so.
Like the waiter that, like, catches the snails.
So. I want to say it is, but, like, I didn't look up to see if that's true, but I was like, it must be, you know what I mean? You know, and there's a lot of, like, little other things, but it's also, like, a very similar story of, like, young woman, kind of, like,
rags to riches,
like, not, like, and kind of a misfit story, because, like, I think of, like, Vivian in Pretty Woman, and she doesn't really fit in with all the rest of, like, her crowd, like, the sex workers and everything, because she is, like, she wants to learn, and she wants to go to finish high school, and she wants to do all this stuff, and, like, and so she is kind of a misfit, just like Mia is kind of a misfit. They're different kinds of misfits, but and then it's, like, that rags to riches story, and, you know, so there's just, like, that kind of thing that I was like, was Pretty Woman directed by Gary Marshall? And then so I'm like, IMDb, and it was. So that's where all of this like ties together. So that felt just very like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's funny. But yeah, I mean, I like it. It's, I mean, at the end of the day, like the biggest thing that I have issue with is the makeover.
I do too. I was thinking about that. Like, I don't think this is like particularly feminist or not. Like, no. I do think like that I love that there was no fretting over like, oh, she's a girl, like how's she gonna inherit the throne and like the crown and run the country, like, and Julie Andrews is she's a woman also, like running the country, and she is only running it because she is queen by marriage, which like is also unusual, I think, you know, because most places it would have immediately gone to the heir rather than like like in England, like it wouldn't go to it won't go to Camilla if Charles dies, it'll go to William, you know, but I love that it wasn't like, oh, she's a girl. Like, that wasn't the issue. The issue was like, she is not ready to be a princess and rule this country, which she's not. She's 15.
She has no idea about
she's a child.
Being a princess, being a ruler.
It's all been kept from her, right? But I love that that wasn't the issue. So I think it was a little like forward thinking in that way. And, you know, to be fair, like we've already had a Queen of England who, you know, was our daughter and inherited the throne, and like, no one said boo.
It gets a little backward in the second one because then it's like she cannot rule on her own. She has to get married in order to retain the title. But they kind of buck against it and they fix it. So that's fine.
But I don't find it particularly feminist. That's where I was going with that. Is like, there were some things that are like more open-minded and that are like feminist in their own way, but like the whole makeover of it just really...
Well, that in order to be ready to be a princess, she had to change everything she...
looked like.
Even her glasses. Like, she wasn't allowed to wear glasses.
Like,
that's wear contacts. It's like, ridiculous. That's silly.
And I get it, so you can have this whole like ugly duckling reveal, and like,
that was the purpose, and that was the intent,
and it leads to the rest of the story of like why she's popular now. Because if she had stayed with like the frizzy hair and the glasses and the eyebrows and you know, no one would have ever thought differently, right? And so I get that, but and there is something to be said for like that story of like how you look doesn't change who you are, you know, and. I mean, it might, I guess, like formatively, but anyway, it doesn't change who you are. You just look different, and but yeah, I had a problem with it too.
It was a little like unnecessary. But
it makes sense.
I get it. It's the whole like, it's the princess of it all, and this image that we have of a princess in our minds, of like being like beautiful and all of this and like glamorous and like. And, like, when you're little, and, like, when I was little, like, I was guilty of, like, oh, I want to, like, be made over and, like, be glamorous and beautiful and da-da-da, and, like, dream of being, like, oh, I didn't know I was a princess, and, you know, and so it's, like, it's part of, like, the transformation of the, so I get the plot device.
I just want the money of being a princess.
I want the power. In a not creepy way.
I do and I don't, right? Because like,
I want the influence.
I do love that she decided to become a prince. Like, she decided not to renounce her title, though, because of all the good that she could do as the Princess of Genovia. Which eventually queen.
Which thankfully is something that her friend Lily pointed out to her. Of
and
like,
I love Lily, even though she's obnoxious.
Okay, well, and I did write that she is so insensitive so many times.
She is awful.
Like, it's been 2 months. I thought you were over that.
Her dad dying. I think I never realized that he died so recently. Like, I forgot that was the whole reason why, like, now she's being told, like, I just forgot. Because I had only watched it twice before. But yeah, Lily was so obnoxious towards the end.
You should sue.
And I think just her voice, I'm like, and like, I don't want to complain about like women and girls' voices because like that happens a lot, and we get told we're shrill and we get told we're whatever. But the whining and like the in that, I was just like, wow, this is like, too
take
much.
It down a notch.
Just the volume. You know.
But at the end of the day, she is the one that said, like, when Mia tells Lily that, you know, I gave up the title, I'm not going to do it. Then she's like all disappointed. She's like, I wanted you to be. She's like, but you were like giving me such a hard time. Like, what do you mean? She's like, well, just like think about, like, I have my little cable show that, like, 12 people watch.
She was like, I found out I have 12 viewers.
You would have a whole country
that
listens to you, and the power that you have and the influence that you have, and to, like, make actual change. Yeah. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. And so I had issues with, like, the makeover and the over emphasis on, like, looks and beauty as part of the whole princess thing. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I think it still it didn't ruin the movie for me, because it still had such a good message at the end of, like, why she chose to step up.
I think too, it's like the time of it.
It was 2001. And that was the whole time, we've talked about it a few times, of, like, especially with, like, pop stars and things like that. It was a lot of emphasis on, like, looks.
Yeah. And Adore Gary Marshall and Product of a Time, right? Yeah. Pretty Woman was all about being made over into, like, a classier version of yourself. I think of, like, A League of Their Own, which I think he also did. Or maybe it was Penny. But
I think Penny Marshall.
I think she did. Well, they're siblings, and he was in it. Yeah. He's, like, the guy with the peanuts. Yeah. Oh. He's, like, the old, like, the owner or something of the team. But you know, so there's that, you know, that moment when they have to make over, what's her name? Myra Hooch. Oh, yeah. Is that her name? Myra? Yeah. You know, and it's like, oh, you can't play baseball if you're not pretty, right? And the whole thing of, like, the agent wasn't gonna take her because she wasn't good looking. Yeah. You know, and so I think it's that time frame too of, like, and it's what we wanted, you know, like, as a society, like, we all wanted to be good. I mean, and we're all gonna always want to be good looking. I think that's, but I think there's a lot more different types of good looking now that are more accepted. Yes. Yeah.
I don't know why I keep yawning. I apologize.
It's okay. It's usually because, like, you're not breathing enough air, like, deeply enough. Supposedly.
I'll work on that.
Yeah. I know. I've been yawning a lot lately, though.
It's because I'm so bored. Just kidding.
Well, that would be the end of the podcast.
It's an awkward way to announce it.
By the way, Beth's bored, so we're done.
Yeah. Oh, I had written down too, like, after the makeover, Queen Clarice is like, better, much better. I'm like, ugh.
I know. I mean, and, like, yeah,
She comes around. Queen Clarice turns out to be pretty okay.
Yeah. I will say, Mandy Moore, I think, carved out, like, a little niche for herself as being, like, the bitchy, popular, pretty girl in high school for a while. Yeah. Like...
But she did it so well.
I know. For someone who is, like, in actuality, like, very sweet.
So like, is it Lana, Anna, and Fontana? Yeah. I did write down, like, for real, like, the other kids are so mean to her. So the boy, was it, like, Josh?
Mike?
No. The popular kid.
I thought his name was Mike. Or
no,
Troy?
Mike is the...
Oh, Mike is what's her, Lily's
Michael,
brother. Yeah.
I think it's Josh or Troy or something. Chatty.
Troy's probably from the Goonies. That's probably what I'm thinking of. Anyway, whatever his name is.
Chad.
Yeah. He is a Chad.
But, like,
you're probably right, Josh.
So him and Lana are so mean to her at, like, the beach party and everything. And
oh my God.
But then I'm also like, Mia, like, what made you think that you could trust any of them at any time?
They've been so mean to her.
What about them as people would lead you to believe that they are on your side in any way?
It's, like, such a high school problem.
Right.
And I think part of the problem, too, is Anne Hathaway looks too old to be a high schooler, so you expect her to be more mature than she is. Yes. But it's like, why is that so important? Like, popularity, and I think, like, being part of the in crowd and, like, one of the pretty people, like, I think it was just, like, I think there's a false sense of importance that's put on it, and maybe, like, that's just true for, like, our high school ages and younger. Yes. Because, like, it's just weird.
But her, like, coming into it all is, like, let's go back to Sandra Oh, because we haven't talked about her enough, is the scene where Mia finally, like, kind of, first she, like, hits the ball and hits the Troy, Chad, Josh guy. Yeah. and then later she, like, rubs the ice cream all over Lana, and she's like, Mrs. Gupta, did you see what she did to me? I love it. She's like,
oh, no. I was doing something.
I was in a very important meeting. Yeah. Send it out for dry cleaning. and then she gets the phone call. Gupta.
queen is on her way. Yeah.
I'm sorry we don't have finer china.
I just love her voice. Like, everything she's doing with her voice, too. Like,
she's so good.
She's so good. She's so good. She also has my favorite line probably in the whole movie.
Which is?
Come on, girls. It's a ball, not a snake. So it's like on the softball field, like, and, you know, a ball gets hit towards them, and all the cheerleaders, like Lana and all of her friends are like,
ah, it's getting me.
Come on, girls. It's a ball, not a snake.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Oh, no, honey.
Oh, no. Just a very important meeting.
She's just so perfect. I love her.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes, like, in movies like this, like 10 Things, like Allison Janney was probably my favorite character.
Yeah. I know.
Sometimes
like,
school
it's the
officials.
Yeah.
Like.
They're so ridiculous.
So silly.
They're so ridiculous.
I love it. If I ever worked in schools, like, that's what I would strive to be.
The queen is coming.
The queen.
I love Sandra Oh so much.
And it's so funny because this was like before I knew who Sandra Oh was.
Mm-hmm.
And then like obviously years later, then I start watching Grey's Anatomy and I'm all hooked in that.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, 2001, I guess it would have been out. Had it started by then? No, I was in college when it started.
I was like, it was after I was out of college.
So anyway, so it was much later that I actually like knew who Sandra. Then like looking back on the movie now, it's like extra funny.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I said my favorite quote.
Yeah. I do think it didn't need a love interest.
It didn't need any of that story.
But we have that problem in a lot of movies.
But I think part of it too was like it needed the bad love interest to get to like all of the trauma that happens around like that party.
Yeah.
And like the paparazzi stuff. Because otherwise, like, what are they going to get her doing? Like, changing her clothes at a beach party. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which also, like, that was so awful.
Yeah.
She could have been naked.
Yeah. I just didn't understand why she needed to change her clothes in the first place.
I don't either.
Like, she was fully clothed already.
She was wearing her, like, cover-up.
Yeah.
So, I didn't get that either. But also, like, just, can we stop putting teenage girls in situations where they could end up being embarrassingly naked?
Right?
Like, let's just, ugh.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my last thought.
Yeah.
Other than that, my favorite quote was from Joe, which was played by Hector Elizondo. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent.
Eleanor Roosevelt.
Oh, did she say that?
Yes, she also says that in the movie.
I missed that.
Eleanor Roosevelt said that, yeah.
Well, either way, I liked it.
But it's a good quote.
In my mind, Joe said it.
It's a good quote. It's a good quote, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do enjoy the movie. It's one of those that, like, I'm sure I'll show Ginny sometime. She was curious when I was watching it because I was watching it, like, during the day.
Yeah.
She's like, what is this? Or maybe she'd already seen it. I don't know. But, like, I don't know. It's cute.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. It has a good message at the end. It's a little weird and focuses on looks a little too much, but
yeah,
it's not bad.
What you just said, focus on looks a little too much. It makes me think of something that Madonna said about her daughter Lourdes when she was younger. She was like, she's a little bit more obsessed with her hair than I would like her to be.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
But, you know.
Anyway.
It was cute.
Yeah. I mean, I still liked it.
Yeah.
It's still fun. I don't think it's particularly, like, deep.
No.
Or arty.
Yeah.
You know.
But neither is the second one, but, like, it's still, it's a fun watch.
It's a cute little, like, not rom-com situation.
It's fun watching Julie Andrews surf on a mattress down some stairs.
That's in the second one.
That's what I said.
Oh.
The second one.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the first one.
No.
I was like, well, that happens.
Yeah. That's what I meant, even if I didn't say it.
No, it was just me. I was thinking just about the first one.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway.
I know. Yeah.
Well,
I think that's probably it.
Yeah.
I mean, not forever.
No.
Just for now.
Not actually
this
ending.
Episode.
No matter how bored Beth gets. Oh my gosh. All right.
Just abrupt. Done.
She takes off her mic and walks out. Yeah, but always remember to have thoughts, opinions, and questions. And we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
But Is It Podcast is produced by Traci Mueller and Beth Hofeldt.
The artwork is by Anna Apperson.
And music by Devin Wall.